Geometric sequences. It's a ratio between each pair of consecutive terms when they're the same, and we call it a common ratio. You get it by multiplying. Each term is found by multiplying the previous term by a common ratio. So if I'm trying to decide if it's arithmetic, geometric, or neither, I'll remind you that in an earlier video we talked about the arithmetic sequences have a common difference, not a common ratio, but a common difference, and that's where you are adding the same number each time. So let's look at 120, 60, 30, and 15 and decide how we get from one to the next. How do we get from 120 to 60 and from 60 to 30 and from 30 to 15? Well, think about it. If I divide by 2, I get 60. If I divide by 2, I get 30. And if I divide by 2, I get 15. But they really don't want us to say divided by 2. They want to say multiply by something. Well, dividing by 2 is the same thing as multiplying by 1/2. So this is like times 1/2, times 1/2, times 1/2, and then I would keep on going times 1/2. Same thing as thinking about dividing by 2. All right, so this would be, since I'm multiplying by the same number called a common ratio, then I have a geometric sequence. And the common ratio is 1/2. Now that one's pretty easy to know. It was dividing by 2 just by looking, but they're not always that easy. Let's look at this one here. I've got 2 to 6 to 11 to 17. And if I say, well, how do you get from one to the next? Well, I can look at it like, well, it looks to me like I'm going up 4 here and up 5 here and up 6 here. Well, it cannot be a common difference because these numbers are not the same. So I know it's not arithmetic. Let's try and see if it could be geometric. Take the second one and divide it by the first one. 6 divided by 2, which is 3, okay? Then take 11 and divide it by the one in front of it, 6. Well, 11 divided by 6 is about 1, and let's see, we've got a remainder of 5. 1 and 5, 6, so those are not the same. And if I take 17 and divide it by 11, it goes one time, and then there's 6 left over, so those are all different. So it's not arithmetic, and it is not geometric. So it is neither.